Hi there. Picture yourself as this electrical panel. See every twist and turn of the wires as your personality, composed of your definitions, your behaviors, your thought processes, and your opinions. This panel emits electrical impulses that have a vibratory effect. This effect causes ripples in the molecules around you, moving those molecules in different ways depending on how you emit your frequency. See the effect of the waves as they are transmitted through the molecules in the vicinity? Now, the panel's energetic output cannot be perceived with the physical senses unless you hook it up to a light bulb or get electrocuted. Here we have some examples of a photo of electromagnetic layer that emits even when we cannot perceive it. As you can see, the visible light spectrum is the segment of the electromagnetic spectrum that the human eye can see. The range of wavelengths is called the visible light, and typically for the human eye is between 380 and 700 nanometers. All electromagnetic radiation is light, but we can see only a small portion of it. The cone-shaped cells in our eyes act as receivers that are tuning into the wavelengths in this band of the spectrum. Other portions of the spectrum have wavelengths that we cannot perceive with our senses. As the full spectrum of visible light travels through this prism, for example, you see how they separate into colors of the rainbow because each color has a different wavelength. Sometimes we don't hear things that our dogs hear, right? Sometimes we don't see things that are, for example, the x rays or the microwaves. Know that you cannot rely on your physical eyes because many things exist, a big percentage of them, and they can affect matter and they're yet invisible to your eyes. Okay, remember the higher frequency, the less tangible to the human eyes. Now, as you can see here, this is the way that sound affects the molecular plate and depends on the vibratory frequency, the specific wavelength of the sound. Okay, molecules respond differently to different frequencies of sound. Your state of being, your personality, with all the wiring creates a specific movement in matter around depending on which frequency you are emitting. This resonant frequency acts like a radio tuner. One, for example, wellness can be 88.9 and sickness can have a complete different frequency. How do you know what your panel is emitting? By what you get. If you're thinking, I want to feel good, but your whole panel is wired and emits mostly frequencies of sickness, the effect around won't change. It won't change. Joe Dispenza calls it change your personality, change your personal reality. Neville Goddard calls it living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Abraham Hicks calls it the law of attraction. You attract what you emit. It is quantum physics, it is resonant frequency, it is logical. If you're not manifesting what you want, but you have been doing affirmations, meditations, courses, uh, call it whatever it is because you still haven't changed the electrical panel wiring. And there are some lines that are still very active and they're emitting a frequency that is actually contrary to what you think that you are emitting. Okay?
The fleas are placed inside the jar and the lid is then sealed. They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behaviour is now set for the rest of their lives. And, when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example.
How do you change the electrical panel if you, for example, say you have a genetic condition or something that runs in your family? You can change the programming of the electrical panel at its core by creating new lines and pruning the old ones so the electricity does not run through them anymore. You can even modify genetic things. Even wonder why identical twins that have the exact same genes, one of them develops a condition like cancer and the other one doesn't? Ever wonder why people with multiple personality disorder, when they adapt into one personality, their body changes and there actually being tumors that are being encountered in one personality but not in the other? The personality is the personal reality. How do you change your personality? How do you make sure that your genes or programs are not active? How do you modify this? Well, you modify the electrical panel, and for that, you need to be ready for change. If you're feeling sad or disappointed, it's because a big part of you does not want to be where you are, and you are craving something different, but you are not taking the steps to do so. You follow your emotions, follow what's happening. If you're not feeling okay, it's because you need change. You need to go someplace else. You need to be a different person. You need to move the energy. You need to rewire and change what's emitting in your core electrical panel. Okay? Change is the only constant in life. If you can dream it, you can do it. If you are ready for change, if you decide to stop recreating the same personality over and over again, send me a message.